Ill strives the will, gainst will more wise that strives his pleasure therefore to mine own preferred, I drew the sponge yet thirsty from the wave. Onward I emoved, he also onward emoved, who led me, coasting still, wherever place along the rock was vacant, as a man walks near the battlements on narrow wall. For those on th other part, who drop by drop wring out their all-infecting malady, too closely press the verge. Accursed be thou, inveterate wolf, whose gorging gluts more prey than every beast beside, yet is not filled. So bottomless thy maw, ye spheres of heaven, to whom there are, as seems, who attribute all change in mortal state, when is the day of his appearing, for whom fate reserves to chase her hence? With wary steps and slow we passed, and I attentive to the shades, whom piteously I heard lament and wail. And, midst the wailing, one before us heard cry out, O blessed Virgin, as a daemon the sharp pangs of childbed, and how poor thou wast, it added, witness that low roof where thou didst lay thy sacred burden down. O good Fabricius! Thou didst virtue choose with poverty, before great wealth with vice. The words so pleased me, that desire to know the spirit, from whose lip they seemed to come, did draw me onward. Yet it spake the gift of Nicholas, which on the maidens he bounteous bestowed, to save their youthful prime unblemished. Spirit, who dost speak of deeds so worthy, tell me who thou was, I said, and why thou dost with single voice renew memorial of such praise. That boon vouchsafed haply shall meet reward, if I return to finish the short pilgrimage of life, still speeding to its close on restless wing. I, answered he, will tell thee, not for hell, which thence I look for, but that in thyself grace so exceeding shines, before thy time of mortal dissolution. I was root of that ill plant, whose shade such poison sheds o'er all the Christian land, that seldom thence good fruit is gathered. Vengeance soon should come, had Ghent and Douay, Lille and Bruges power, and vengeance I of Heaven's great judge implore. Hugh Capet was I high, from me descend the Philips and the Louis, of whom France newly is governed, born of one, who plied the slaughterer's trade at Paris. When the race of ancient kings had vanished, all save one wrapped up in sable weeds, within my gripe I found the reins of empire, and such powers of new acquirement, with full store of friends, that soon the widowed circlet of the crown was girt upon the temples of my son, he, from whose bones th anointed race begins. Till the great dower of Provence had removed the stains, that yet obscured our lowly blood, its sway indeed was narrow, but howe'er it wrought no evil, there, with force and lies, began its rapine, after, for amends, Poitou it seized, Navarre and Gascony. To Italy came Charles, and for amends young Conradin an innocent victim slew, and sent th angelic teacher back to Heaven, still for amends. I see the time at hand, that forth from France invites another Charles to make himself and kindred better known. Unarmed he issues, saving with that lance, which the arch-traitor tilted with, and that he carries with so home a thrust, as rives the bowels of poor Florence. No increase of territory hence, but sin and shame shall be his guerdon, and so much the more as he more lightly deems of such foul wrong. I see the other, who a prisoner late at steps on shore, exposing to the mart his daughter, whom he bargains for, as do the corsairs for their slaves. O avarice! What canst thou more, who hast subdued our blood so wholly to thyself, they feel no care of their own flesh? To hide with direr guilt past ill and future, lo! The flower de luce enters Alagna. In his vicar Christ himself a captive, and his mockery acted again. Lo! Lo his holy lip the vinegar and gall once more applied. And he twixt living robbers doomed to bleed. Lo! The new pilot, of whose cruelty such violence cannot fill the measure up, with no degree to sanction, pushes on into the temple his yet eager sails. O sovereign master! When shall I rejoice to see the vengeance, which thy wrath well pleased in secret silence broods, while daylight lasts, so long what thou didst hear of her, sole spouse of the Great Spirit, and on which thou turned dst to me for comment, is the general theme of all our prayers, but when it darkens, then a different strain we utter, then record Pygmalion, whom his gluttonous thirst of gold made traitor, robber, parricide, the woes of Midas, which his greedy wish ensued, marked for derision to all. Future times, and the fond Achan, how he stole the prey, that yet he seems by Joshua's ire pursued. Sappho with her husband next, we blame, and praise the 4 feet, that with furious ramp spurned Heliodorus. All the mountain round rings with the infamy of Thracia's king, who slew his Phrygian charge, and last to shout ascends, declare, O Crassus! For thou know'st, the flavor of thy gold. The voice of each now high now low, as each his impulse prompts, is led through many a pitch, acute or grave. Therefore, not singly, I erewhile rehearse that blessedness we tell of in the day, but near me none beside his accent rist. From him we now had parted, and essayed with utmost efforts to surmount the way, when I did feel, as nodding to its fall, the mountain tremble, whence an icy chill seized on me, as on one to death conveyed. So shook not Delos, when Latona there couched to bring forth the twin-born eyes of heaven. Forthwith from every side a shout arose so vehement, that suddenly my guide drew near, and cried, Doubt not, while I conduct thee. Glory, all shouted, such the sounds mine ear gathered from those, who near me swelled the sounds, glory in the highest be to God. We stood immovably suspended, like to those, the shepherds, who first heard in Bethlehem's field that song, till ceased the trembling, and the song was ended, then our hallowed path resumed, eyeing the prostrate shadows, who renewed their customed mourning. Never in my breast did ignorance so struggle with desire of knowledge, if my memory do not err, as in that moment, nor through haste dart I to question, nor myself could aught discern, so ought I fared in thoughtfulness and dread.